Hey guys, so today I have my fourth attempt at buying a 1926 SA half sovereign, and here it is. So, the big question is it going to be genuine or not? Now, this one came from a reputable dealer. It's my first time dealing with said dealer, but fingers crossed. So a half sovereign is going to be just under 4 grams. We're looking at like 3.99, maybe 3.98, something like that. If it's heavy and worn, we should be intrigued, concerned. Oh, hey, there we go, 3.998. So that is a perfect weight. And let's take a closer look. So I also have just Sigma tested this before I got on video. So I do have a good Sigma reading on this one, which is always a bonus. So you can see just above the 9 and the 2, there is the tiny little SA mint mark. And that's what we're looking for. So 1926 SA. The other year that was available, as you'll have seen in my other videos, is 1925 SA. So I have 2 of those because I'll run you through the story in case you haven't seen the other videos. I tried to buy one of these 1926 SA half sovereigns. It arrived. It was very suspect, shall we say. I returned it. I saw another 1925, so I bought that. And then I saw another 1926, so I bought that, and it turned out to be a 1925. So the date on the photo was a 1926, but the seller sent me the wrong coin. And then I had another one which I bought as a 1925, and then the seller that sold me the wrong coin didn't make a fuss, so I wasn't too worried. Didn't pay a huge premium or anything. So I bought this one at the time for what was it spot price delivered, or anyway, it was a very, very cheap one at the time, and it is a nice condition. There's even a bit of luster on there. So that means I have now in my George V mint mark, date run, whatever collection of half sovereigns, what's this? 10th. I now have 4. So we have 1926, we have 2 1925s, and we have the 1913. So there's a little way to go. I believe there are 16 dates and mints in total. And yeah, I also picked up this from the same seller. This is a 10th ounce Krugerrand. So I don't buy a lot of 10th ounce coins, but I do occasionally buy them when they come up at a good price. And just in case you haven't seen, can't even get it out, it's that small. Yeah, I've not bought any of these for a while, and it is tiny. So just in case you haven't seen one of these, I'm going to flop it out. There we go. Carefully file that. Oh, it's stuck. There we go. So yeah, let me just get them together. If you haven't seen, like I say, a 10th and a half sovereign together, this is the kind of size difference. So a sovereign is 0.2354 fine weight of gold. The half sovereign has 0.1177 troy ounces of fine gold. So there's 0.11 basically in there and 0.10 in here. So there's more gold in the half sovereign. But if you look at the difference, the diameter of the half sovereign is quite a bit different to that of a 10th. So I think the half is a good fractional size for that reason. 10ths tend to come in at quite, I'd say, hefty premiums. You can get lucky sometimes, but on the whole they do. So the half sovereign is quite a lot thinner than a full sovereign. And just in case you haven't seen, this is a 1/4 ounce next to the 2. So I haven't got any sovereigns here to show you today. But that is the difference between a 1/4 ounce and a half sovereign and a 10th ounce. So yeah, half sovereigns are a decent sized coin. I believe things like the ducat or ducat, I believe they're quite a big coin for their weight, as in they've got a large diameter for the weight. But I've never actually owned one, never owned a ducat. I have owned some Swiss 20 francs. They're a similar size to the full sovereign. I think, I'm not sure exactly, but they're a similar size, you know, they're a decent size. So these tenths, they are really small. If you are collecting fractional gold, tenths are, you know, they're a potential idea. You can get all the same designs as the big coins. You know, you can get your kangaroos, you can get your maples, eagles, buffaloes. I think you can get in proof for 1 year only, so you're not really going to find them in bullion. But you know, your Krugerrands, your Brits, you can find all sorts of those at, you know, like I say, a fair premium usually. A fair premium is in quite a big premium, not necessarily a fair premium. It is fair, you know, there's a small coin. The work to sell a small coin, you know, to put it in a flip and to package it, send it away, is about the same as it would be for a 1 ounce coin. But obviously the dealers can only make, you know, £10 or £15 perhaps on these tenths, compared to a, you know, an ounce where, you know, a 3% premium might be £50 or something. So yeah, it's fair in that sense. I'm nothing against you know, the dealers making the money, but if you are looking for lower premium, then you probably won't be buying that many tenths, but maybe you'll come across some good deals. The half sovereigns tend to come up more often at better prices, so I would tend to buy those if I was stacking more fractional stuff. But again, the sovereign, you know, it's a 1/4 ounce almost, so nice fractional size, and just depends, you know, on people's budgets, things like that. I did mention the 1/4 ounce. I've got a couple here which I'll unveil on a different video. But you know, 1/4 ounces are nice little size. Quite a few people like them because they're fine gold compared to these, which are 22 carat. But it doesn't really matter, you know, you're paying for the gold content, and you tend to pay a higher premium for the 1/4 ounces. So it depends what comes up, you know, depending on what you're after and what prices you get if you come across any deals. So yeah, if we take a closer look at this coin, we can see that the design looks as it should. I can't see any obvious issues. I'm also looking in the field. So the field is the sort of flat part of the coin, not the design itself, so not the rider, not the dragon, not the horse, but the sort of space around. And I can't see any, you know, issues, or if it looks like it had been cast, for example. And also the edge doesn't look like a chainsaw blade, you know, it looks like the edge should. So the milling looks fine, you know, detail looks good, can't see any obvious issues. And yeah, if you're wondering why I'm paying so much attention, if you look back a few videos, there is one where, like I say, I came up with a suspect half sovereign. Incredibly suspicious, you know, it didn't match on the Sigma to what it should, so the metal content was likely not 22 carat. Also the weight was a little bit heavy, there was a little bit of wear, and the design was just a bit sloppy, I think would be the word. But the main thing was a bit of a pale colour, and the rim, it just looked like really serrated. So yeah, this one much better. And it would have been nice to perhaps keep the counterfeit one, that was suspected counterfeit, you know. I can't prove it was a counterfeit, but highly likely that it might have been. So yeah, the alleged counterfeit, it would have been nice to have kept that one, but you know, unfortunately but fortunately I returned it to the seller, who was happy to, you know, reimburse and I guess speak to his supplier. But yeah, you've just got to be careful what you're buying. You know, if you're sticking to the bigger dealers, you probably won't have too many issues. But if you start to venture into perhaps eBay sellers and second-hand market and, you know, random places on the internet, then keep your wits about you. So, hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll talk soon.